welcome here. I thought I would just do a little chat video today, just to talk through my experience as a breastfeeding mum. Now, I am no expert in any way, shape or form. I couldn't breastfeed my first, and my second I have been able to, and he's only 4 months old. So I do not have many notches on my belt at all. But this is just my personal experience. Take from it whatever you want and leave whatever you don't like. It's just basically a grain of salt. So when people say to you that it gets better, I was expecting 3 weeks, not 2 months. I was not expecting to, have cracked bleeding nipples for 2 months. But that's my body. My body was slow healing. Now, after the 2 months, it was a breeze. Well, not a breeze. There's, still a few things that aren't a breeze with breastfeeding. But then, again, when you're laying down together, staring at each other in the eyes whilst nursing, you forget about all of the things that you've gone through to get to where you are, because you're just so wrapped up in that moment of, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This video is no shade on mums that formula feed. I was a formula feeding mum with my first. My 4-month-old is currently getting a formula bottle at nighttime before bed, because mama is so tired with the 4-month regression and the needles, and the stress of this stupid coronavirus thing that's going around. That's anywhere that you watch on the news, it's doom and gloom, and you're just sitting here going, okay, but if I get it, can he get it? And if he gets it, do I need to feed more breast milk, or do I need to feed that? It's so ridiculous. Honestly, I can't even know why I feel like this over it, because it's just wash your hands. If you're sick, stay home. Just simple things like that, but not everyone does that. So that's my fear, is when we do go out, because obviously I don't want to be we're not leaving the house ever again. Sorry kids, you can't go to the park, you can't go to the shops and get a treat, you can't do anything. We're staying home until all of this goes away. That's not realistic, and that's boring, especially for a 3-year-old. A 3-year-old's no. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked again, like normal. I usually edit these parts out, but this time around, I'm just going to let you listen to my mumble jumble that I literally do every day. And I promise you'll probably hear some words going, it's not actually a word, because I'm really good at making up words that aren't words. So with my breastfeeding, it's been beautiful. The last month, it's just recently, my milk's kind of, I wouldn't say drying up, but I'm not producing to the standards that my baby's used to. I really just put that down to exercise, because the lactation consultant told me that exercise can make your breast milk dip. Also, the fact that I've had a fair bit of anxiety lately, and even though I'm on postnatal depression tablets, I'm still having some anxiety just around, baby's health with everything that's going around at the moment. But I'm pretty sure that's any mum out there is always going to worry about their little baby, because their immune systems aren't up to par to what they are at our age. So yeah, he's not getting quite as what he's normally getting. So we're kind of just giving him at night a formula bottle because I don't want him to be like during the day, I don't want any boob. I don't want that. I want to continue breastfeeding for as long as I can. If I have to in the meantime give him a formula top up once a day, I'm okay with that as long as he is healthy. Do not feel like if you're told that you should top up feed that you failed. You have not failed. It's just how it goes. Sometimes milk dips depending on what lifestyle changes you have made. For me, it's been exercise and anxiety. I want to exercise because I want to feel good and fresh, and also those endorphins help amazingly with postnatal depression. And the other thing is anxiety, and it's just because I'm a mum and I worry that my boys are going to get sick. It's as simple as that, and unfortunately my milk is suffering for it. But you know, there's two things that, well, one of the things I can't help, and the other things I don't really want to give up because I've noticed a difference in my mental health. And I'm not overboard like going to the gym and stuff. I'm just doing Pilates at home and walking my boy to school. That's it. It's not like I'm doing like hectic weightlifting or anything like that. If I was doing stuff like that, I'd probably have even more of a dip, seeing as I'm doing very minimal exercises. So I might hold off on actually joining a gym until my body kind of reestablishes its milk. As much as I want to join the gym, I don't want to dry myself up, basically. So with my 4-month-old, he has started to have a little bit of like boob fussiness and hasn't really overly wanted to feed from me at some stages in the day, and I put it down to just the fact that he's kind of liking the fact that the bottle comes out faster than I do. So I've just been hand expressing whilst he's feeding, so the milk drops down quicker and it's easier for him, and that has been working a treat. Another thing that sorry, my dog's doing something weird in the background. He's getting a bit cakey in his mummaroo. Probably because he's a little bit big for it now, even though he's only 4 months old, but he's chunky boy, aren't you? Chunky boy, chunky boy. So yeah, he's having a little bit of boob fussiness, but with the hand expressing whilst he is trying to get that draw down has worked a treat. I don't know if that's something that is recommended by lactation consultants because I didn't ask, I just did, and it's worked for us. Another thing that I have noticed, and a lot of people say this happens, is with me, I think because I've always been a coffee addict, I've not experienced any sort of change with him with me consuming coffee, or change within my milk with consuming coffee. Actually, if you are coffee fans and you want to not spend like $5.50 on a coffee, which to me is ridiculous, and I like iced coffee, so that's usually about $7. In Aldi, they have just brought out this. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not, because the camera is like, there we go. It's just the Espressi Milano iced coffee. It actually has coffee in it. It's not like that flavored coffee milk. It's actually coffee. And they're $2, and I was so happy when I found them because I was like, I'm literally saving myself money. I could make myself an iced coffee at home and go out with it, but the coffee pods that I like and that I get, it actually works out cheaper getting this bad boy. I know that it is in a bottle and it is, what's it called? It's a bit of a taboo topic because most people say you need to do reusable things, but here where I live we have this like recycle center where you can actually take your bottles and they get recycled properly. So that's fantastic. And you can also, every bottle you take, it's 10 cents, and you can send that to the Koala Foundation. And that's pretty fitting, seeing as I call my little squishy boy here a koala bear. So when he gets to do his part with his friends, with your koala friends. Yes. So another thing I've noticed with breastfeeding over formula feeding is a lot of people will say if you have a formula baby, they're going to be bigger. My boys are absolutely not following that thing at all, because my first was a skinny winny. He was born at 37 weeks. I uploaded recently a video of our birth story with him, so that's why he was quite small and why he was not born, on time or late for a first baby. But he's still to this day is quite small. But this dude that's breastfed, he is chunky. We just had our 4-month-old needles on 2 days ago, and he weighs 8.320 kilograms. So to me, I'm like, wow, that he a big boy. Other parents might go, well, that's tiny. But to me, he big. Because my first at 4 months old was still in newborn clothing. So yeah, you can't say that breast and formula feeding is going to, cause whatever, because each baby is different. Like my breast milk for this kid is working a little bit too much because he is a big boy. He's a chunky big boy. He's got rolls for days. Have you got rolls for days? Have you got rolls for days? Sorry, I get a bit distracted when he joins in on the videos because he's so squishy and cool. And he's teething at the moment. That's why he's biting me. Because the poor boy, not only did he have his 4-month needles, but he has a tooth starting to cut. And I'm like, you poor kid, you're going through the sleep regression, you've got immunizations, and now you have teeth and your gums are hurting. So yeah, it's not a fun time for this little squishy. Even though he's still quite easy for, a baby that's going through all that. Like, his sleep is pretty good. Like, even though he's going through a sleep regression, his sleep regression is only waking up twice during the night. So usually he sleeps through the night, but at the moment he's waking twice. And I think that's just mainly because he's got a bit of discomfort in his legs from where he got the needles, because I'll walk in and it's more of a pain cry other than anything else. Yeah. Okay, so with breastfeeding, I love it. I really do. I love everything about it. Excuse my rocking. This dude is kanky. I have my days where I'm like ready to give up, but I don't want to give up. Like in my head, I'm like, no, 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 don't give up, don't give up. You can do it. You can do it. And I just push through. And now I've gotten to 4 months, and I'm so glad that I didn't give up, because it got to the point where every time he latched, I was like, ow, get off me, type thing. So yeah, it's just such a beautiful experience, and I feel so blessed to be able to do it. Not everyone gets to. I didn't get to with my first, so I am so thankful that this time it worked for me. You know, that isn't meant to make anyone feel bad if they haven't been able to with any of their kids. You know, it's not easy, but it is beautiful. I think as a formula fed mum, I had a lot of jealousy within my heart over the mums that could breastfeed. So when all this thing came out of the, you know, the tree of life coming from the breast into the baby's mouth, I got a little bit too butthurt by it. So I did my own post of it, and now I look back and I'm like, that was just petty of me. You know, fed is best, but I didn't need to kind of act out and make breastfed mums feel bad about their journey and their accomplishments, because it is hard to stick to it. It's painful, but it is beautiful, and it gets better. Not necessarily right away within like the short amount of time that people make out it takes, but yeah, I feel like it's been a learning experience for me, this breastfeeding journey, and I hope that I can continue to breastfeed, because I've learned so much from it. I've learned how to slow down. I've learned how to actually take in the moment. I've learned how to, you know, compromise with my 3-year-old. I've learned how to multitask like a boss. Like, I'll be feeding him whilst playing cars and choo-choo trains, my 3-year-old, and I'll be doing emails, or I'll be doing making videos whilst feeding him, or editing videos whilst feeding him. I try not to do those too, but anyways. So it's just, I don't know. It's beautiful. It's hard. It's a journey. But I am so grateful for this journey. And I don't ever want it to stop. Obviously, it has to stop because kids grow up. But yes. Well, thank you for watching my video. If you like mama content, please subscribe and like this video. Yes, this one is obviously extremely not edited. I did edit out a few parts where he completely lost his plot, because no one really wants to hear that. I don't even want to hear that. It makes me cry, and most of the time I end up crying. So then whoever's watching is like, why is she crying? Her baby's crying. Because I cry when my baby cries, because I feel bad. Don't know why, because that's how he communicates, but every time he cries, I cry. Also, if anyone has any advice on hormonal pimple stuff, because if you look at my chin, I'm breaking out in blackheads and whiteheads, and it's just not a fun time. So yeah, please drop in the comment box what skincare you use that's breastfeeding safe. Thanks, guys. See you next time. This is them every time the baby cries. They just stare at me like I'm a horrible person. Like, excuse the yard, but, you know, staffy life.